Never stop reading Bible. Welcome back to the deep dive.
Great to be back.
Today we're diving into some fascinating material covering Psalms 61 through 65.
Yeah, a really rich set of Psalms.
Our mission really is to unpack the key insights from these ancient songs. We want to see what this message of faith, trust, and thanksgiving might reveal to you today.
And it really is a journey in these chapters, isn't it? You see this movement from, deep personal struggle.
Right up to real confidence and just overflowing gratitude by the end.
Exactly. So let's maybe start unpacking that journey with Psalm 61. The notes we have present this one as, well, a pretty raw personal lament.
It kicks off with this really intense cry for salvation, doesn't it? Highlighting just total reliance on God.
You feel that distress immediately. The speaker, who we often think of as David, is looking for refuge, longing for peace. It's that image of being under God's wings, like verses 1 to 4 describe.
Such a vulnerable place to start from. But then there's the shift towards confidence. What causes that? Where does it come from?
Well, it seems rooted in remembrance. Verse 5 points to him recalling God's faithfulness in the past.
Like maybe that time with Absalom's rebellion, when his own son...
Yeah, exactly. Something that traumatic. That memory, that past rescue, becomes the very basis for his faith right now in this crisis. He believes the God who established his kingship will protect it.
So his desire for a long life isn't just about living longer.
No, it's tied to purpose. It's about praising and obeying God forever. And you see in verses 6 to 8, he actually makes a vow. He promises eternal praise, fulfilling his daily commitments if God provides that ongoing protection. It's quite conditional in a way.
That's a powerful link. Past grace fueling present faith and future commitment. Okay, so building on that, Psalm 62 seems to step even further into this idea of absolute trust.
Yes, the insights really emphasize unwavering trust, even, when he's under fierce attack from rebels trying to dethrone him.
You can feel that pressure. It sounds like this psalm was forged in suffering. Enemies all around, lying, plotting his downfall. Verses 3 and 4 really paint that picture.
But he stands unmoved. That's the key phrase.
And why? What's the reason given?
It's profound, really. God is his sole source, his only rock, his only salvation, as verses 1 and 2 state so clearly.
God alone.
And there's a sharp contrast drawn here. Earthly hope. It's just not enough. Verses 5 to 7 basically say, nothing in this world gives final hope. Only God satisfies forever.
It really pushes you to ask yourself, where is my ultimate hope placed?
And he doesn't keep it to himself. In verse 8, he urges others, pour out your hearts to God.
Right, because God has the power and the loving kindness to save. That's the combination.
Unlike people or earthly authorities who, let's face it, often prove faithless. Verse 9 touches on that. The focus is absolutely on God's unique ability. Salvation belongs to him.
Okay, moving to Psalm 63. It shares some of that intensity, maybe starts like a lament, but quickly shifts, right, into confident expectation.
Yeah, it opens with this deep, almost physical yearning for God. Verses 1 through 5 describe this intense seeking, anticipating God's love, which he calls better than life itself. It's looking forward to praise, born from this deep conviction about God's perfection.
In the result, for those who seek him like this,
the outcome is clear in the text. Following God closely leads to joy, to victory, while those who persecute, they're headed for ruin.
That contrast is really stark in the final verses 8 through 11. Cling to God, find joy in triumph, set yourself against him. Destruction.
It flows right into Psalm 64, which shares that theme, God's ultimate victory over those causing trouble for the righteous.
This one seems to focus more on the enemy's tactics, doesn't it?
It does. Verses 1 through 6 detail their plotting secret schemes, harmful words, attacking the blameless without any fear. Very insidious.
So these hidden attacks, how does God respond?
And the material points to God's decisive judgment. Verses 7 through 10 show God himself stepping in. He will discipline their evil.
So their own schemes backfire.
Exactly. Their own tongues bring them to ruin. It underlines the certainty of God's justice.
Okay, and then quite a shift. We arrive at Psalm 65. This one is pure thanksgiving.
What a beautiful way to round off this section. This psalm offers three main reasons for praise. First, God's grace towards people.
How is that shown?
Well, the notes highlight how God hears prayer, he forgives sin, he calls people into his presence, fills them with blessings, and crucially, verses 1 to 5 make it clear this isn't because we deserve it.
So it's based on God's righteousness and love, not ours.
Precisely. It emphasizes God's sheer generosity.
Okay, that's reason one. What's the second?
God's incredible power over creation itself. Verses 6 and 7 talk about His establishing mountains, stilling the seas, his rule over everything.
Recognizing his total sovereignty makes sense.
And the third,
his tangible provision for life. Verses 8 through 13 are all about this. He creates the conditions for life. He waters the earth, makes crops grow, livestock flourish.
thanksgiving for just the basics, the abundance of life itself.
Yes, and the conclusion drawn is that all of creation is just compelled to shout for joy and praise this amazing God. The insights shared in this deep dive are based on material from the Center Studio.